Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here and welcome back to Dune Spice Wars. Today we're going to be playing as the Fremen, and they're a little bit unique in that they basically cannot get Landsrad standing, and they also have their own unique way of doing fast travel on their units. They use thumpers instead of airlifts, so they're kind of unique. But they also are kind of standard in a lot of ways, right? They're kind of similar to what you'd expect from other factions. I definitely feel like this is kind of an advanced faction for players who maybe are looking for a different experience, or perhaps like people who just really like the Fremen aesthetic and gameplay style. So we can form alliances with Siege outside of our territory. We can use thumpers for worm riding. We get more thumpers, higher levels of hegemony, and a 10k hegemony. We gain military power according to our hegemony. So we get stronger the later on the game goes, very, very passively. And we do have a pick from a few different councillors. We can use Chani Kynes, which allows us to use Incite Rebellion on Landsrad revolutions, generating rebellions in other factions if the targeted resolution passes. This can be a really good way to use authority to sabotage other factions in the late game when the Landsrad resolutions are just passing and passing and passing. It says hard here. Her early game is weak, like she doesn't do much in the early game, but in the late game, Chani Kynes puts in work because you can trigger up to 2 rebellions in every other player's lands if both resolutions pass. We've also got Stilgar here. He gives you siege detection progress based on the number of villages that you control, and he also gives you +1 authority per exploited spice field. Mother Ramallo gives you the Shai Hulud temple, as well as it revealing all of the spice fields on the map, which is quite a useful thing because it allows you to expand kind of aggressively. I do feel like Stilgar and Mother Ramallo are kind of like natural allies. You know, you get the authority from exploiting spice fields. She tells you where the spice fields are. You can beeline them, make your way there. Othaim gives you 10% unit speed, and when your units are alone, they get 20% power and 2 armor. Can be quite useful for buying time with your militia, and also if you use Fedakin, which is the Fremen sort of high tier unit, you can do serious work with this ability because your Fedakin, like if they're being attacked by 5 people, they have like 30 armor and 20 damage, and then they get another 20% power and they get more armor, and they become incredibly low. Like they become solo killers basically at that point. You could just send them, or you can raid solo with Fedakin on every single allied border, and then the Fremen can also get advantages for actually liberating towns. So you could just play incredibly aggressively, like just sending a single unit against enemies, and then that forces like a huge response. You clear out their militia, all that sort of stuff. So you can do interesting things with Othaim. I do like Chani Kynes, and I like Stilgar. I kind of like the idea of playing with both of them. I don't know how good the Shai Hulud temple is. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Chani Kynes and I'm going to play Stilgar together. This way I kind of play the harder version. I've gone for the easy version most of the time when I played, and we will play on a large map, I guess. Yeah, let's do a large map. Let's do it. I think it'd be kind of interesting. I'm only playing on hard because I'm still like learning the game and figuring things out. So here we are, Siege Tabir. I will be generating another Ornithopter incredibly quickly, and I'll be getting a warrior and a skirmisher as part of my opening build. And my goal is to find my local spice field so that I can find the village and take it over immediately. All right, let's go ahead and scout this village out. And my military units will be sent there immediately because I want to get the spice harvesting up. I kind of have a build in mind, and I'll talk a little bit about the build when I actually capture this village. I'll be able to do technology. I've also started making a lot more use of hotkeys here to control my units. Like I have my Ornithopter on hotkey 1, I have my military units on hotkey 2. I should probably be able to kill 1 unit before the sandworm appears. There we go. Okay, run, get into town. Perfect. He might even get snapped up depending on how hungry that sandworm is. It looks like we got unlucky. Let's go ahead and take this town. Tadram will be ours. It'll take a few days for us to actually capture it. Tadram belongs to me. Let's immediately get the spice collector. Now, the unique thing about the Fremen is their spice collectors don't need to be recalled from the spice fields. They are slightly less efficient. You get 20% less spice, and we can't vote in the Landsrad like the way that the other factions can, and we can't even get access to the Landsrad. But the big advantage is your harvesters never get recalled. And the build I kind of want to go for here is to do a composite materials Arrakis Secrets structured warehouses into spice market economic lobbying. So I want to go boom, 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 boom. And the idea here is to go from economic lobbying, probably pick up intelligence network first so that agents assigned to Choam produce more Solari. And then those agents will increase the amount of spice exchange rates that I get. So my goal here is to go for like a very heavy spice production build, like get as much efficiency out of the spice production that I actually do make. That's kind of the plan here. So I'm going to be sticking to 2 units for quite a while. And I need to think about, I think I might do a raid on Sinon. Yeah, let's do a raid. Pillaging for extra money here could be huge for my early game, so we'll go ahead and give it a try. Now, one thing is, my skirmisher has taken the aggro, so I want to pull him back until he's no longer taking damage, and then use him to fight. So we found an abandoned Fremen camp. There's no special resources in here. This is the perfect kind of place to raid. We want to look for, ideally, our first 2 villages should have special resources, and spice, rare materials, plascrete factory production boost, anything like that is totally worth being a second capture here. Otherwise, we may as well... Ooh, get inside. Hold on. I don't believe you. I thought I'd clicked him inside the town. That's actually a big loss. Basically, all of this money that we just picked up got wiped out. That's really, really painful. I'll have to do another raid. That's genuinely devastating because now my harvesting team is delayed. If I wasn't recording this for YouTube, I would totally restart. I'd be like, screw this. I got screwed. But yeah, I'm going to raid Tabram as well while I wait to find a town with an actual resource. And it'll probably be this one here. But yeah, a couple of raids on villages that are close to you. Because it's only a 5% increase to the annexation cost and authority, it's not that big of a deal if you do it. So let's get our plascrete factory in Tadram as well. We want to have tons of plascrete this game. And I mean tons. Our goal is to play a very, very economically centered game. So I'm going to raid this too. Pillage complete, money acquired. Let's head down to Tadram and get ready to take Talda because this does have a minerals resource node that I can make really good use of. We have our very first agent. I'm going to go ahead and place 1 agent on Arrakis because that unlocks our basic missions. I feel like Arrakis and the Spacing Guild are a good first placement. And let's go ahead and add a harvesting team to this guy so we get another 4 spice per interval. God, I'm so angry that my unit got killed there. It's like so infuriating. Tadram got its plascrete factory. Let's also now get a wind trap, although I can't quite afford it just yet. I will be able to. In terms of spice, I'm well above quota, so I can start selling more spice to increase my economy here. I find taking out the ranged militia are better because if you get into melee with them, you have their damage and they have less health, or less armor rather, I think, right? Oh no, they have more. Never mind. All right, wind trap into Tadram. Let's keep that water nice and high. Really haven't found many actually good secret resources here. Kind of unfortunate. And I also haven't found any crashed ornithopters that I could put on auto explore. Been a little bit unlucky. Yeah, but we will take control of this village. It'll take a few days. I think my big early game goal is to save up enough money and enough plascrete to get an early research hub going in my capital. Got a trade request. My influence is precious, so I kind of need to keep it under my own control. Let's grab that plascrete factory. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta think about our next town to take control of. Lovely, we've explored this, grabbing ourselves a nice bit of cash. So we have the money required in order to build an early research center. And we almost have the manpower supplied to get this harvesting team upgraded again. I think my second agent will be going to the Spacing Guild like I talked about, which will give me +1 manpower production. So I'll be able to stay ahead. Oh, we did find a spice field. So we're going to want to start expanding this way. Hell yeah, for sure. I'll quickly just grab this though, because I did take it over already. And after I get this spice harvesting team, I do need to start thinking about increasing my manpower, but also increasing things like water. I want to be able to trade with sieges when I find them. I want to be able to... You know, this is a bunch of things I want to be able to do. I want to have excess water. I don't think the Fremen are able to really harvest the water at the pole in the way that the other factions are. I'm focusing heavily on getting as much plascrete as possible in the very, very early game so that I can build up my territory really, really quickly. I think Wal Al Nin is going to be next because it has that nice minerals in here. So my plascrete is going to be overflowing essentially. Go level 2 harvesting teams. Now the really, really nice thing is this is just always passive. My guys will never ever get caught by the sandworms because they're able to do it without really disturbing the desert. The Solari exchange rate is pretty poor right now. I'm going to go ahead and just sit and stockpile heavily for the next cycle. Maybe we'll get a better price next cycle. Unlike the smugglers, we can't tell what the next price is going to be. But we did manage to pay the Spacing Guild, which gives us +1 authority per day. And Talda now needs its militia defenders. So we'll start building up militia in Talda because this is the most difficult place for me to defend. It's the most, out there position. So we have structured warehouses, we have composite materials, and we have Arrakis secrets. Let's go for spice markets into economic lobbying. Those are the next 2 moves. And then we'll go intelligence network into spying logistics. We ideally want to get down to desert shadows relatively early this game. So it's kind of like the play, the quote unquote play that I'm working on here. Expecting the worm to appear any second now. Let's get you off the sand. And same for you. Perfect. We are off the sand. And we cannot quite control this yet. We'll have to wait a couple of days, but that's okay. So the worrying thing would be if there was a raid coming. And thankfully, we do have a little bit of military protecting. So Talda will soon have its full militia complement. Let's grab Wal Al Nin. Haven't seen any rare metals yet, which is kind of disturbing, honestly, because you would expect that you would have found some by now. There's usually one near your starting location. I guess the map is truly random. Wal Al Nin is mine. Let's drop the Plascrete factory as planned. Boom. So I think once I have my second spice field, I will start cranking out science from Siege Tabar. I'll try to do a bunch of scientific stuff. Taking a look at the positioning on the map, however, there is a good spot right here in Talda for a maintenance center, because it will theoretically, it'll hit 3 regions right now, Tadram, Sinon and Talda, and then it'll also hit Marur later. So that'll be a 30% discount on the maintenance here, which will save me a lot of money in the long run. I think it's also about time that we got our first recruitment office. These are going to be expensive to maintain, but if I'm going to attack this next town, it's going to require me to have 3 units. So a recruitment office right now is about right. And then I will save up my manpower to get another warrior. Plus my manpower is just a bit stretched trying to fill out all of these things and also fill out my harvesters. I could do a cheeky raid on Arkna though. That'll get me enough Solari to be able to build the research center the second that I have the 2,000 hedge money required. I am starting to feel like I'm getting a better grasp on this game. I understand how to get a really, really solid early game going. Even and how to recover from a mistake, like losing a unit. I would be able to afford this building right now, only for the fact that I lost that unit. And that kill should put me over the limit, and then this pillage should give me the money that I need. Now, my economy can't really sustain the research center because it costs 20 upkeep, which is quite tough. However, should not be a problem. Should not be a problem. So there's the pillage. Let's head back to Wal Al Nin. You reach the hedge money threshold, and we reached it just as we have the cash to build a research center, and that will also trigger a 10% research speed increase for economic investments, which is exactly what we want because we're going for economic lobbying, and we eventually want spice hegemony. And also advanced engineering here, 5% resource production in villages per building built on an extra slot. That's pretty damn good. 15% Plascrete production too. So there are a few techs in here that we will want to pick up. It is time for a Landsrad Council vote. I would like the Imperial propaganda. My influence is precious. I'm going to hold on to it for now. My influence is way too precious for me to use it willy-nilly. We're not quite ready for research hubs. What we can do is keep dropping wind traps. Keep that water real high. So the Solari upkeep passed, which means I should have less income problems, which is nice. We do have a raid coming for Wal Al Nin. A little bit spooky. Should be only a 2-man raid this early into the game. It tends to be very light in the very early game. And in fact it is. And it should be relatively easy for me to deal with these guys. My warriors aren't quite leveled up, but this is nice too. Plus these kills, honestly, they're worth score. Not much score, but they are worth score. That's the thing they remember. I've got a ton of Plascrete in the bank, so I should start thinking about that. And I'm almost ready to claim this village. I just need to get this unit over to here. And then we can get to work on that bad boy. No! Jesus, I almost lost a ranger again. Do you know how frustrating that would have been? We have found a special region here. This is going to be a really good Solari income, so potentially expand towards this to increase our money. This is the Well of Riches. It's a special region that gives 100% production towards processing plants, which means this will produce 60 Solari per day rather than 30. And it also gives you a bit of hegemony. Hegemony? Oh my god, I can't say the word. I can't say the word. Hegemony. I would like a little bit more of a pop out here that was a little bit more hey, your ornithopter isn't busy. Although that's something I just have to get better at managing. All right, let's go ahead and attack Talrus. We're just about ready to actually occupy it. And I feel pretty proud of the fact that I've managed to get a couple of raids off, and I'm getting my research centers up. So we found a siege here, and this is why we have the excess water, is so that we can trade with them. They will also give us +1 authority production, allow us to continue to expand faster. So that is really good. Can I get one of you guys on top of this? Break his damage in half. We have another agent. Now this agent, I want to start infiltrating the Chome, because I need that money production. I need that money production. Also, I want the spice price increase. Okay, we've got a worm problem. When you got a worm problem, you feed your worm. All right, perfect. We've taken out the town. Town is mine. We capture it. That's our second spice field secured. Now, I've got 1 billion Plascrete in the bank, so I need to do this. What I need to do is to start dropping in relatively safe places these research hubs because my research center is about to come online. And so all research is now worth a lot more to me. I don't want to be too aggressive. Like in this spice area, what I actually want is a spice silo to increase my spice production. That would be a little bit more valuable to me. And then I also need to get another crew in here. So I'm going to need another manpower building. But let's go ahead and get the spice collectors. It's only 340. Perfect. Yeah, so a mixture of like research and manpower right now would suit me very, very well. There we go. Perfect. We got the research center. Now we have a tech rate of 9. So we're going to get economic lobbying in 9 days. Like that's super fast, like insanely fast, ridiculously fast. I could go raid Tabram. It has been pillaged already, but it's relatively cheap. It only costs me 3 authority for a pillage and it gives me more cash to play with. Let's make sure we're filling out our garrisons. It might seem like a small thing to have militia in your towns, but it really makes a difference. Spice collectors online. Perfect. Let's grab our spice silo here. And then, let me see. Can I find a town that... I guess Wal Al-Nin is a good spot for a recruitment center. This will allow me to get more manpower. It'll allow me to have a bigger military and allow me to fill out these spice harvesting teams. The Spacing Guild bribe has been paid and the price of spice has gone up, so I can start selling extremely aggressively, like super aggressively, and we'll have tons of Solari in the bank now. I'm feeling really, really good about this starting. I definitely feel like I am getting the hang of the early game. Nice, nice, nice. Tab Ram is under our control. Now, I could take over this village right now if I wanted to. If I were going to take over any village, what would it be? It would probably be Sablab, so that I can make my way towards Maris. So I'm going to go ahead and pillage here instead, pick up this ruin, and then move on and try to take over Sablab. So just a quick dirty pillage. I know technically I'm the Fremen, so I probably, I'm trying to be the friend of the people. But, sometimes the Fremen weren't, there's not really a good guy in Dune. Let's be fair. Everyone, oh, that's a worm. Yeah, it's a worm. Let's just hang on here. Let's make a supply drop here. Make sure that we're always filling out our militias. At this point, like militias can easily hold off the basic raiders. Okay, perfect. We have economic lobbying. This is huge. This gives us access to the Choam branch building, which is going to be our next objective, is to get that Choam branch down. Now we can go to intelligence network, spying logistics. This will get us more agents and then make our way all the way down to Desert Shadows. We might like stop off for other things, but this is kind of the build that I'm going for, is maximum Choam infiltration, maximum spice economy to try and make a victory happen here. Thankfully, I only need 2 units to attack Sablab, so I can send 1 over here to take care of these ruins. I can live with water upkeep. I can live with all of these, honestly, so I'll like put like a couple votes in each to see if they pass. It might not be enough to make a difference, but maybe it'll help. Let's drop a supply drop in Sablab to keep my units healthy. We found a spice field down here to the south, so we're definitely going to want to expand towards that after we take this. We do want this special region, but we definitely want to be taking control of spice everywhere that we can. Our entire game this time revolves around just getting as much spice as possible. We're not doing like militaristic, we're not doing raiding. We are spice fiends, okay? That is our goal, that is our objective. Okay, Sablab is mine. Good wind in here. I'll drop a wind trap. Although I need to think about where's my next maintenance center going. I have one here in Talda. So I want one that hits Tabram, Walna, and Talra. So probably Sablab is a good spot for a maintenance center. Keep everywhere nice and healthy. And let's make another supply drop play. Oh! You ran out of supplies. Oh, that's painful. I thought he was going to be fine there, but apparently, like, because the Fremen have good supply. Like, they don't have trouble. They run out of supply lower than other factions. So I thought I would be okay. Apparently not. Apparently I was not okay. That kind of sucks. That really, really sucks. In theory, with a supply drop here, we should be able to easily take this down. I'm just going to wait for the actual supply drop to finish. We'll drop it in here. That'll keep my guys healthy and supplied. Now, the one thing I don't like about Maris is it's actually spawned on the edge of the map, which means it probably won't be able to place many buildings. Because you need to have this rocky surface here. It needs to actually exist graphically for you to place buildings. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to place buildings here in Maris. That has happened to me before in one of my other games. So I'm slightly concerned, we're low on water. Okay, so the water upkeep thing did pass. Hold on, let me go ahead and make a little bit more water. Take a few minutes, but we'll get there. I do feel like my economy is really stable though. We have spying logistics. Let's make our way down to Desert Shadows. This is because we want to be able to assign another agent to Choam infiltration. Right now we can put 2. on Chom, and we want to be able to put 3 because that represents a 30% increase in our Chom lobbying power. Perfect. We have the water now to annex Maras. I am very, very concerned about this, though. Maybe it'll work. I think I would like to see them. That would be one of my pieces of feedback. Okay, what do we got? We got a couple raiders. That would be one of my pieces of feedback, would be maybe it would be a good idea. Wow, is this really what they're doing? They're running back and forth while getting shot. Okay, this is like really weird AI going on here. Yeah, we're getting crapped on. I'll need to thumper my people over. So, first time we get to see the thumper, let's place the thumper. And our destination is here. So let's ride the sandworm, on they go, and then there he goes. Sandworm's on his way. Another unassigned agent, we assigned it to Chom, boom, and now we're getting 2.3 Solari per spice that we sell. So I think the big thing for me is I need to get the 5k hegemony so I can get more thumpers. I'm going to have to thumper again to get to here. But it shouldn't be too long for me to get to 5k hegemony because I am about to pick up like another 200-ish from that. And I have the authority to continue to expand, which will mean my thumper production will soon actually begin. I'm annoyed that Talda is under attack. Let's go ahead and liberate it. All right, good. We've got it under control. Now that's why you have militia, because it made it so that this was very, very simple for me to defend. They bought me the time I needed to protect my base. All of these things I don't mind. I don't really care what happens in here just yet. I will care later on in the game when I start building up my influence production. But right now, my goal is on getting control of Arrakis itself. Now, Maris needs a militia as well, so we'll go ahead and pop in one of each kind. And like I was saying here, okay, we do have room for buildings. That's really good. So I want the processing plant because that's worth 60 Solari in this town. Interestingly, I can build off of the map here. Okay, I guess, yeah, that's fine. A bit weird, but okay. I am almost at positive relations with the siege, which should... I hope that lowers the rate at which they attack you. And I need to start thinking about my next hit. I think I might go ahead and hit Arkna. That'll give me access to the energy source, which will allow me to build ceremonial caves, which will theoretically actually increase the power of all of my units. It will lower my total empire-wide spice production, but having stronger units, I think, is a small price to pay to be able to get energy sources. Or actually, I should start making my way towards this spice field. Yeah, never mind. Let's get in position to attack Marinur. And in order to attack Marinur, I am going to need a supply drop. And we've reached 5,000 hegemony. So we will slowly get thumpers over time, which allows me to play a little bit more aggressively because I can always thump my way back somewhere. Like if I place my thumper, right, I can go pretty far. Pretty far. So we're making an extra 60 Solari from here. And there is good wind. What's the pricing looking like on the Spacing Guild? It's looking okay. We're still getting good money, so... And we're going to hit quota, no problem. We've got tons of authority. We're making, like, that's crazy. The amount of authority you make as the Fremen is kind of nuts. Let's make sure we're teching. I think teching is a big part of my game. Let's keep also increasing our manpower. Again, because we still haven't filled out our spice harvesting teams. We're missing 3 crews. Supply drop in here should keep my units healthy. You can see their health is ticking up slowly as they take damage. Should keep us going pretty well. I am the target of architectural surveys, actually, which is a good thing because it's going to make it cheaper for me to build my Chom branch. Now, I think I want to get 20% extra hedge. Now, hold on. Let me just make sure. Can I buy Chom shares? I can buy Chom shares. And I think that's the kind of victory condition I want to go for, right? If I get 20% more hegemony from Chom shares, right? And I get a 30% bonus Chom spice exchange rate. And I make more money from infiltrating Chom. This feels like a very, like, everything is aligned in the right direction. Plus, this is cheaper now, so I may as well do it. So this feels like a very... everything is aligning for me in the direction, like I'm oriented towards the goal that I want to be oriented towards. My build feels cohesive and coherent and like it makes sense. Unfortunately, manpower upkeep did pass, which kind of sucks. Means I'm going to take longer to upgrade my spice teams, but those spice teams are making progress. Why isn't this town benefiting from spice stock bonuses? Is this like too far away? Does it like need to be a certain amount closer? Is that actually literally it? It's too far away? Why is this building green and not operable? Hold on, let me demolish it real quick and replace it closer. I don't understand. I don't understand why that's not working because my entire goal here... Oh, we found another siege. So again, we have a massive amount of water purely to be trading with these sieges. Because we can ally with sieges outside of our territory. Remember that. So building up allies with sieges is going to be part of one of our major components to our win condition here. Now this town actually... It has pretty good wind. Yeah, I'll get a plascrete factory in here. I'll build up the usual things. I'll need to go to the next town. In order to take that town, I will need gear sabotage. I also need to consider, am I going for defense systems or border defense? It's about time that I got another militia slot. The nice thing about ground command is it gets me closer to Fedicane, whereas going here would make sure that I have a lot more Solari to play with on authority. This would let me detect sieges faster. I think I'm going to go for border defense. I'm kind of, because I have no one on my border to fight with, so I don't need to go militaristically this early, I think. Okay, so now the spice production is working. Is it like a thing where it has to be within a certain range? Interesting. Okay, I'm very, very confused about that, but like this one wasn't working before, but now it is. I mean, I'm not going to complain that it's working. I'm going to complain, though, that it's not clear and straightforward. So we finally got Desert Shadows, so now we can assign another agent to Chom infiltration. I could pick up countermeasures here to increase my agent recruitment speed, which would allow me to fill my agents out. I don't think that's necessary, and I have to remember, every tech that I research makes future techs more expensive. So I have to kind of think about carefully about what I actually want to get. It might be a good idea to get sand diplomacy to increase my siege friendship. Trying to think what fits into my build right now. Advanced engineering wouldn't be bad. It's kind of fitting in with my max out my plascrete production and build as many buildings as possible plan that I've been working on. And then if I decided to go for the Shai Hulud Temple, is that in, let me have a look here. Is that this thing in here? No, that's the Al Ghaib Temple. I think the Shai Hulud Temple is this here. Ooh, 20% resource production in ally villages in the region and its neighbors. Okay, yeah, definitely. That's where we're heading. We're definitely heading down to the Spreading the Faith and the Shai Hulud Temple. This will give me +2 Solari when per neutral village in the world. Okay. And 1,000 Solari when I liberate a temple. Okay. This is quite powerful. This feels like a good direction for me to go now. There's our final agent assigned to the Chom, and now we're getting nearly 3 Solari per spice. Once we start really cranking out that extra spice production, things are going to be insane for us. Let's play the gear sabotage to lower enemy unit power. Make our lives a little easier. Go for their range units, lower their damage, because that's like halving the DPS of these units if I engage them in melee. It's like a massive advantage. And now that the combat is pretty mature, I will play a supply drop to keep things healthy here. And my units should start regenerating health. Let's go ahead and run the skirmisher around. There we go. Perfect. Nice. Another town will fall to us soon. I'm curious, what missions do I have here? Sand cloaks, allied military units are invisible, ceasefire, defense sabotage, crowd manipulation. So it doesn't look like you have very many unique abilities, aside from making your units invisible, which is kind of unique in itself. So we just need to wait for the authority here. But that shouldn't be long. We make like an insane amount of authority. The Landsrad, I could incite a rebellion here. Yeah, let's do it. I think it's about time that we can start spending our excess authority. I know I'm getting ready to like try to capture another town. That's okay. It's fine. It's not a big deal, right? You have to kind of balance a lot of things, and causing a rebellion in other people's lands would be quite valuable at this point. Okay, we do have a raid coming for Marur. It's 2 ranged raiders. We have a military nearby though, so that's good. The timing on this, so we know there's a siege somewhere around here, and we definitely want to get control of Walno. This is the Moon Dew Veil, which gives wind trap resource production bonuses. Could be helpful. Sandworm. Okay, that was fine. I think also technologically, once I have Spreading the Faith, I'm going to go down to spectral imaging here, so I'll get local dialect studies, paracompass, and spectral imaging, and that's because I can support my harvesting teams with ornithopters to get a 20% gathering rate boost, which is pretty significant because I'm just trying to maximize how much spice I really am just cranking out. Like, look at that, spice production, 37 from this village. Oh, amazing. So now we've got the Chom branch finished. We're getting 3.5 Solari here for our spice. Like, that's nuts. Those are nuts prices. Let's grab Quartval, or Quartval, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I need to think about building more manpower buildings and maybe sustaining like another couple of units. I should go up to 6 units now. It's about the time in the game where that's something you should consider. And it's also roughly about the time in the game where I should start thinking about where's my influence going to be coming from. I know where my intel is coming from. I know where my money's coming from. But my influence, you can't just ignore the Landsrad, right? I got to have some influence in it. I can ignore it for a little while, but if I don't get it under control, it's going to go very, very poorly for me. Is it time for another building in here? I could go for the recruitment center. This would give me a ton of manpower across my across my entire empire. That's like half a manpower per village. That would put me in a really, really good place when it comes to manpower. I'd be able to max out my spice harvesters very, very quickly. I think I'm already good on manpower because I've built a lot of things. Embassy, this would give me a little bit of influence. Intelligence agency would give me a little bit more intel and agent recruitment speed. Ooh, the bazaar would give me +2 influence per ally siege. So I was asking a question earlier. Where's my influence coming from? We just found it. Now, the interesting thing about the bazaar is that it counts as all 3 types of buildings if you build it. So what would we like to do? Where would I put the bazaar? I feel like I kind of want to go like bazaar and intelligence agency. So if I go bazaar now, I'll slowly build up. Applies the district bonus 1 more time. Ooh, hold on. If I were to build this here, I would get, and then fill this with another economic building, I would get 40% hegemony from Chom shares. Oh my god, that's insane. Yeah, I need to do that. It's crazy. I love how the build is kind of linking together as I'm discovering it, because I didn't even know this was possible, right? I didn't even know this was like a viable thing, but it looks like the game is designed in a way that it's trying to make the players succeed. And that's a nice feeling because there's a discovery process, right, that I'm going through right now. And that's a really, really satisfying discovery process. Now, I'm curious as to why this town is making 37 spice, whereas this town is making 35. It's related to advanced engineering, the 5% resource production. So I do want to fill out my spice towns with extra buildings. So the price of spice is going down massively next era, or next cycle. So I'm going to sell every ounce of spice that I have right now. All right, we're getting ready to take over Quafbu. Now, it'll be a while before we can afford this place in terms of authority. Maybe we can quickly grab local dialect studies for the 15% authority reduction and then get spreading the faith. I think that might be the play. It's hard to keep these ornithopters working, let me tell you. I think I'm going to put them on auto recon for now. And then just check in on them and get them, like, pick up anything I spot. All right, yoink, this town is mine now. Perfect. That's another spice production location. We are already, I've been getting like barks from the other leaders. They're like, I'm jealous of how much spice you're making. And I'm like, haha, stay mad, kid. Nice. So we got the bazaar up, and as we start building up these alliances with the siege, our influence will start to grow. And here we go. There's the first siege friendly. Man, this is all lining up so incredibly perfectly for me. I will have to wait a minute until I have a agent. I may pick up countermeasures for the extra 5 max agents, although I don't need that right now. I think I can focus on getting the spectral imaging going, which will give me the 20% harvesting rate, because I'm just trying to make as much chom, as much money, as much solari as possible. But yeah, I think now is the best time. Ooh, I can get mercenaries? Pretty powerful, 516.3. I think my warriors are better than the mercenaries. The advantage of the mercenaries is how cheap they are, but I'm going to get 2 more warriors and maybe another skirmisher. Oh, wow. Infiltrators. Plus 80 power on the first attack in combat. That is like hit and run to a level. That's insane. Yeah, that's nutty. That's nutty powerful. Oh, Fremen units are expensive, man. The warrior is 5 command points. So now I can see why the mercenary would be attractive as the Fremen, because you can get 2 of them. You can get 2.5 of them per warrior you have. Okay. Makes sense. Fremen have relatively small, high-quality armies. I think that actually is really fitting for the faction. Really, really, really fitting. I appreciate that about them. So I wanted to put an agent on something. I wanted to put the agent on the siege. So I'll come in here. Oh, wait. I don't have to put agents on sieges as the Fremen. That's incredible. Okay, that's a mechanic I didn't know existed. And I will put 1 agent on the Lancerat just to get an extra little chunk. Just an extra little bit of chunk of influence, because it's about time that we start thinking about that and trying to play around it. Now, technologically, we have most of our early game tech done. And now it's about like setting up for the true mid game here. So I'm going to be picking up Para Compass. This isn't very useful, but it's okay. More importantly is the spectral imaging. All the hidden points of interest, all the harvesting team support. It's going to be great. We'll be able to get more and more ornithopters to make this worth it. In fact, I will continue to train more ornithopters. So a building I haven't built yet is the Ceremonial Caves, which is in this energy source here. What this will do is it'll lower my total spice production by 5%, but give me 5% unit power. I'm trying to think if this is worthwhile. And I actually feel like it's not. Like, if I'm really thinking about this, 5% unit power, like if I hover over a unit here, right? That's like not even 1 damage on this unit. I would need like 3 or 4 of them to make that worth it. So I don't think it's worth it. However, I can now build the Shai Hulud temple. This will just give me a 20% resource boost in the area. My wondering is, would I rather build it over here in Sablab where it'll hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villages? I think I would. I think I'll build it right there. So the Shai Hulud temple is kind of like another maintenance center. You want to build it where you built your maintenance centers ideally. So I think my next one will be going down in Talda. Or Talda? I have no idea how to pronounce all the things in this game. It's one of my minor complaints. So I wish I understood how to pronounce things. Looks like there's a little bit of combat and fighting going on in the center of the map, which, you know, has absolutely no bearing on what I'm doing or what I want to be doing. So have at it, boys. Fight each other to your heart's content. Okay, I'm trying to think about where my next capture locations are. There is a spice field over here, and it would be really nice to grab it, especially because I could get Mount Idaho and get another improvement to my research hubs. I think that's going to be it. Let's call the sandworm, send our boys out into the desert, call the sandworm, and make our way over to Habu so we can capture it. Are they in the worm? Where do they go? I don't see the worm. Oh, there it is. There's the worm. Oh, he's going. Nice one. Thank you, worm. Appreciate it. We detected another siege. Immediately we start water trading with it. We want to improve our relations. We scale hard off of making friends with sieges. In fact, we can forge an alliance with Odni here. And that is absolutely worth the authority you spend on it. Like 100%. The amount of scaling we're going to get off these sieges in the near future is insane. Especially once I pick up spectral imaging, I'll go ahead and pick up spice hegemony. That'll give me 10% spice production per allied siege. Siege? I wish I knew how to pronounce it. It's kind of bothering me that I don't. I've got a ton of money in the bank. However, I can't build the Al Gaib temple yet. Where does the Al Gaib temple unlock? In the siege network. So that'll be, I think we'll go spectral imaging into spice hegemony, into diplomatic maneuvers, into siege network. That'll be the play. The Al Gaib temple definitely holds some sway here for me. I don't think I care about embassy. I would like the intelligence agency. The agent recruitment speed alone just makes it so worth it, so I'll grab that. Perfect, we captured another village. Let's take control of this and we can get some more research from Mount Idaho. I wonder if that's actually named after Duncan, Idaho. I don't remember a lot of Dune lore. Actually, I reread the book, the book 1, and then I promptly did everything that I could to forget it, so that I could really, really enjoy the movie. Okay, we've got a village under attack, and that's a big attack. Yeah, the lack of border defense now is a problem. I'm going to have to do a thumper over to there. So I'll thump from here. Oh, the worm can't go around rocks. Well, that's a problem. So we'll have to let this town be under attack for a while before we can get there to save it. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. Why can't my worm? What? Hold on. Why can't my worm make it to here? I need to it needs to happen. Bro. Okay, there we go. Now we can make it. Okay, stand still. Place the thumper. Ride the worm. It'll take us a minute or two to get over there, but the worm shall take us. I like how the worm avoids the deep desert. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's going through the deep desert. I see. But once we have this siege allied, we won't have to deal with this. It's annoying for now. I know. And these raiders will be taken out. So I might want to consider using... getting to Fedekin so that I can have a very, very small but efficient military that's good at fighting above its weight class. Because I don't think I can afford to thump my way around the map. It's a very, very expensive thing to do. Let's place another Shai Hulud temple to increase the production in all nearby regions. What's the spice production like in here now? 42. That's starting to look really good. I think it's time to stockpile spice. Right now the price is poor, but next cycle, the price will be getting very nice. So, this is where the important Landsrad positions are starting to be put out now. I don't think I am allowed to hold charter positions. I think I could do Dune governorship. I actually don't know though, but I need to prevent things like this going through. So if I just drop like 100 votes, yeah, this is actually fine if that goes towards me. And I'll also do Solari upkeep. So like I need to just start participating in the council. But on that note, I think it's about time that I call this the end of the episode. We're doing relatively well. We've got 8.8k hegemony, and we've got serious cash inflows, and we've got serious spice production. So I think we might be in a position to push for a win relatively early this game. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.